Hello, and it's time to show you a Blade Runner. Blade Runners are excellent, handy-dandy little guys that can do a lot of versatile cuts. Honestly, you can pick one of these up for like 80 bucks, which is not a lot of money in terms of what it can do, and for a tool that will be durable, portable, and versatile. So, a Blade Runner is a reciprocating cutting motion. Um, Now, there are a few little bits to show you, but before we get into it, I want to just show you this. With one hand. Keep it unplugged when you do any adjustments or you're playing around, poking around. Now, first thing I'll show you is underneath. Underneath, there is a metal bar that comes out. The purpose of this is to help hold the Blade Runner in place so I can't push it too much as I'm executing a cut. You will need to push a little bit harder with this, and it's not mounted to the table, so this little metal holder is very, very helpful. There's a storage compartment right in the front. This holds different blades. It holds your blade holder. And depending on the blade you use, you can cut, let's see. I'll just tell you. You can cut concrete, ceramics. You can cut aluminum, sheet metal, wood, styrofoam, chicken. Really anything. Anything that the blade is designed to do. Blades will have different appearances based on what they're supposed to cut, but just so you know, there's handy-dandy storage. Next thing. These are equipped, they're equipped with a miter gauge, which is angle, as well as fence. Now, the fence is conveniently located in the back here. You can remove it, and then you can slide it in using these grooves. That's handy if you need a pretty straight cut. Much like the bandsaw, you're not going to get a perfect cut out of one of these tools. Now, the miter gauge that comes with this is good if you need a particular angle. Now, it looks like this. You just loosen the knob, rotate it to the desired angle. It has gradations on it here so you can set your angle, and it would slide through this groove. Okay, so those are the peripherals. Let's talk about just using it, and then I'm going to get into adjustments. To use the Blade Runner, first thing you're going to want to do is loosen up the front. This front knob is going to release this guard. The guard is going to do two things. Number one, protects your fingers. Number two, it's also going to hold the piece of wood, your workpiece, flat to the table. The more wiggle room your workpiece has, the more shaky it's going to be, the worse your cut is going to be. So we've loosened the front so it's freely up and down. Then you're going to loosen the arm knob. Once you loosen it enough, I pull it up and down. Once it's free, let's see, there it is. Now I'm able to put my workpiece in. You can actually drill a hole into a workpiece and then put it in like around the blade so you can cut from the inside of a hole. It's super, super helpful for that particular need. All right, so once we have that, actually I'm gonna do that here now. I have now blessed this plank of wood by making it holy. Right there. What you can do, you don't have to do this, it's only if it's necessary for your cut, is you can put the blade through the hole. Very handy. Now that I've added my workpiece, I'm going to lower the arm, and I'm going to tighten the back first. This needs to be loose. So I tighten the back. Now, I'm going to let it fall down on top of my workpiece, and then I tighten it. All right. Okay, now that I've got everything set, I'm going to plug it in. With the machine plugged in, I'm ready to turn it on. There's a knob right here. This knob, when you pull it, it turns on, and it's designed this way that if there's a problem, I can just slap it and I turn it off. So, let's see. Yeah, that's good enough. So when I cut, you're going to notice that I am holding this down nice and firmly. Why? Because this blade goes up and down, right? So if I have this piece of wood that's trying to go into a blade that's going up and down, it's going to knock the wood up and down. If I can hold it tight to the table, it's just going to slide and remove material, which is what I want. To achieve better grip, stay close to the workpiece. Okay, so I've got my metal thing here. I'm going to turn this on. And I'm going to push down. And you're able to achieve some fairly tight curves with this machine. I didn't really push it to the limits, but this can do some really tight curves. What I also do while I'm working with this, sometimes I'll blow out all of the the kerf of the blade of the workpiece, the kerf or the teeth, whatever is pulled away from the kerf, the excess, the trimmings, the shavings, the clippings, whatever you want to call them. I blow on it to get rid of that so I can see where I'm going. When in doubt, turn the machine off while holding your workpiece. But it is an excellent tool. One issue that I ran into, I was going to do a full turn. You want to be conscious of this back, because I went in and I started turning like this and I hit the arm. So before you actually cut the workpiece, you want to consider where your limitations are. Now I'm going to get into just some maintenance type stuff. So here I'm loosening it. I'm going to unplug it, loosen. All right. So quick maintenance things. You only loosen this as much as it needs to go. Why? Because the way that it's designed is that there's actually just 2 holes punched into this arm. On the inside, we have a gap on both sides. Now, what happens is there's this metal piece here that gets inserted when it gets close enough. And I just did a bad job. Okay. The reason why you can loosen it is because a spring goes on first. So that spring pushes it away so it doesn't get stuck. There we go. But you never loosen it all the way because it's a little tedious to put it back on. All right. Now the other bit with this for maintenance. If a blade needs to be removed, get me. If you were to do it yourself, I can explain the process now. There's a little tab that you push at the top, little tab here, and then you tilt it up. And now you have this guard, this little handy guard. You just slip it on top of the blade. It's going to grab the blade for you because sometimes the blade gets really hot. It's rubbing against wood and it's friction. There's a button here. You can see it, a big red button. Push it, twist it. You need 2 hands. And hold on to this. It's going to release the blade. I can then put it back in, release it, and I'm ready to cut. that is the Bladerunner. It's a very versatile tool, and a lot of people will actually run it out of the bed of their truck, like a pickup truck. Something that is worth checking out if you want to start collecting your own tools at home to fix stuff or make stuff.